The rumours are obviously you would like to chase Mr. Atkins, who is the British cruiserweight champion. Is that something you've got in the pipeline in terms of next steps?
The pipeline for me is to clean up domestic titles, so be it English, British, Commonwealth. I think all those titles are actually in the UK at the moment. So clean up at that kind of level, and then we can start looking out towards the rest of the world. But in terms of these shows, taking the right steps, the right fights, and just building. Because what I can't do is beat Chamberlain and think I'm ready for anyone, because Chamberlain poses some threats. Actually, no. I think the better thing to say is Chamberlain poses some obstacles as opposed to threats. So hard to hit, good movement, thinking in the ring, even under pressure. But then that's not threats coming back like a big right hand or good left hook or really strong or anything like that. So I need to deal with those kind of things before I can then say, oh, let's step up the levels. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the Commonwealth champion, Luke Watkins, he actually attended the fight between yourself and Isaac Chamberlain, and I think he mentioned that he'd love to, mix it up with you guys at some point.
Cool. I mean, yeah, everyone says they would like to. We'll see. That could be a fight that happens sooner rather than later. But it'll be once again, I'll go to the press conference and I'll say exactly what I think is going to happen in the fight, and we'll see.
It seems like, is it safe to say, do you feel like you're probably the most feared cruiserweight?
I don't think so. I don't think I'm not. In Britain?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm the most feared. I think that I'm probably one of the most notable at the moment, outside of maybe Tony Bellew, if you consider him a cruiserweight. But in terms of feared, these guys will fight me. I think the fear will come very soon. So when they see the next few fights, I think that's when the fear will start hitting them. Like, okay, well, look what he just did to X and Y and Z. And like, I'm trying my best not to fight unknown quantities from different countries. I want people to know the people I'm fighting. So when I do what I do to them, it's like, wow, okay, you did that to whoever.
And who would you say is your biggest threat?
Biggest threat, myself. Reason being, if I choose not to train hard, get caught up in the life and all that kind of stuff, I'll be my own downfall. But outside of that, in terms of people, like fighters, any fighter's a threat. I could box a journeyman and he could hit me with a massive 2-punch combination. I go down and I'm looking at Brian, help and whatever. But in terms of boxing, it's just a fight. Like, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. But I just feel like the physical attributes I have and what goes through my mind in a boxing ring is going to help me get to a certain level. Then I'm going to need the intricacies of actual like boxing tactics and stuff. Yeah.
So, for what I understand, I believe Anthony Joshua was co-promoting the event between yourself and Chamberlain. What was his thoughts or his feedback to you after?
He probably made more money than I did. So they were happy with that. In terms of the fight, so the most important thing is to get the W. Because if it was a beautiful fight, back and forth exchanges, blood everywhere, and knockdowns a piece, and great fight, but then you lost. So I'd rather it be that kind of fight and I get the W and then move on and have exciting fights going forward. And really, if you look at all my fights, I think everyone has hit the canvas at least once, do you know what I mean, that I've been in with. So there's excitement in its own way. In terms of that fight itself, I think it wasn't a rubbish fight, but I think what it was is there was a lot of hype built around it. I hate you, you hate me. So people expect to see a tear-up, but if two people aren't on the same level, you're never going to see that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And also, you made an interesting point earlier. Do you want one of those career-defining moments like the AJ and Klitschko fight, where you're both knocking each other down, getting each other off the floor, or would you just want a clean-cut sort of career?
No, I definitely want one of those once, at least.
Yeah,
definitely. But it's a bit weird. Like it's weird because obviously I don't really like it that much. I like being the dominant force in the ring, but I do have like weird fantasies about it because I like people like Evander Holyfield. I like watching him and how he would go toe to toe, life and death with someone, and dig deep and all that. And I think that people love it. Do you know what I mean? But if I could go through my whole career, winning Messi, getting a knockout in round 1, or winning Messi in 12 rounds, I would do it. But I definitely do need one of those fights as long as I win it at the end. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I can imagine all boxers want that kind of like pat on the back from the fraternity to say like, you know, you dug deep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it's difficult. it's difficult because people don't realise how when you get knocked down, it's not a fun thing that happens. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, you've been knocked down, and then everyone like it's like when you've been knocked down, it means someone's punched you hard at the right time and your head's spinning, and it's like, okay, refocus. You got 10 seconds. Okay. Then you get back to doing what you're doing. But if it's back, it's not fun.
And then on top of that, like 80, 90,000 screaming people.
Yeah, it's not fun. There's nothing fun about it. It's a fight. Like at the end, you're broke. You know, like it's not fun. But I guess, you know, the rewards afterwards of, you know, accolades and whatever. You know what I mean? Last
week, obviously, we were supposed to interview you, but you ditched us to go to the Eubank Jr fight.
Yeah. I'll ditch any
which is understandable. It's understandable. But what were your thoughts on that fight? So actually, let me ask you this: who did you have winning the fight, and how did it play out to your predictions?
I had a very biased opinion to it because I was with Eubank and like his team in the build up to the fight. So
I see.
It's hard for me to be impartial. So I had Eubank winning on grit and determination, but the fight played out kind of how you'd expect it to. But George Groves did better than I thought, and the size was actually a lot more than I thought. When I saw them at the weigh-in, I said George is pissed, like because he needed someone to carry him down from the steps, and he was drained. But then he obviously has a good nutritionist, or he's done it enough times that he knows what he's doing. He bulked up, and similar to me versus Chamberlain, when you're the bigger fighter, it's boxing. When someone gets in close and they want to work, stop it. You know what I mean? Grab hold, show them who's the stronger fighter, and that's what he did in the fight. So he used simple boxing tactics, moving around the ring both ways, popping a jab, stop it, like it's breaking up your opponent's rhythm. And Eubank showed at least he is about what he says he's about. He's never once said, oh, I'm the best boxer in the world, I'm gonna outclass you. He says, this is 24/7 for me, I live the life and I'm gonna go 100%. And in that fight, even though he had a cut on his eye, he was getting caught constantly, he kept grafting, kept grinding, and you know.
It must be a difficult feeling, obviously, because obviously you're looking at it from outside in. You can see exactly what he needs to do to actually make it, you know, to get the decision that he wants.
Yeah.
But it seems like he just came unstuck on the night.
Yeah, but it's another thing that I don't, obviously, because it was all so cool. But it's the thing of reality. The reality is when someone has an extensive amateur career or a good amateur career, they've got pedigree in that sense. When you turn pro, you can create pedigree by learning fights, then stepping up boxing against good fighters. You know, you've seen people like Canelo. He didn't have a big amateur career, but he boxed the right fights at the right time, lost to Mayweather, okay, I need to start boxing, learnt from it. Do you get where I'm coming from? And now he's created pedigree himself. So with Eubank unfortunately hasn't had the path that creates pedigree, but what he's got is he's got like world-class work rate and training mentality, so yeah.
Do you think that, a lot of people are saying that Chris Eubank Sr. should take the blame for that loss? What's your thoughts on that?
No, I think that any fight that gets in the ring, it's up to them once they get in the ring. If they don't think training's going right, it's just change it. It's that simple. So you can't blame anyone once you're in the ring. I should have maybe run a bit more. That's up to you to run. Or I should have done a few more rounds in the bags. You can do a few more. Do you know what I mean? Like, or you be sparring someone and stuff's not going right, you ask yourself why. If you feel like your coach needs to say more, you ask them. If you feel like the coach needs to say less, you tell them. So really it's up to you.
Do you feel that Eubank Jr. needs a new coach?
I think that at the end of the day, we're different people. So me personally, I like to be coached, if that makes sense. So I can do my own runs, whatever. But when it comes to strength and conditioning, I want to know this is what I'm doing. When it comes to boxing, I want to know this is what I'm doing, and be told, oh, you're not throwing the shot right, or do you get another problem? I like to be coached, so that helps me. But there might be another side to it where it's like, oh, it's sharp. I want to do this myself, and you can get more out of yourself. So you can get a coach in, and it completely ruins him. Like he's just, he no longer has that hunger or determination or that drive in the ring himself. He's looking for his coach. So it could go two ways. I don't know. No. I think personally, at that level that he's boxing at, you need a coach, because now that two people have outboxed him, everyone is going to be box, stick to boxing, jab, run, move, whatever, and not engage with him. So he's going to need someone to teach him how to cut off the ring and so on and so forth.
And you can see size, like you said earlier, played a difference. Do you think he should stay at 168 or go back down to middleweight,
Yeah,
160?
Go back to 160 because that was his natural weight. It was fun. He got to eat what he wanted, and you know, boxed some good names and whatever, and built the profile. But I think at 160, his relentlessness and tenacity will be a lot more effective because the guys won't be as big.